Hello you pooping frogs, Jim Sterling here, and this is the Prototype Bioshock bundle. Wait a minute, I just listened back to this after I recorded it. Bioshock bundle? What the cheese? Biohazard bundle? Oh, I'm a fucking idiot. This is an allegedly remastered version of Prototype 1 and Prototype 2, what released a few weeks ago. Activision just very stealthily kind of squirted it up on the Xbox store, and then after that the PlayStation store. There was like a YouTube trailer for it, but that was about it. They didn't tell anyone in advance. They didn't really advertise it beyond the trailer on YouTube. It was a weird situation. Just suddenly thrown up like that. Don't worry about this bit. This is just me flicking through the upgrade menu on the first prototype. This is Prototype 1. Which I still enjoy. It's dated as hell, but I loved it back in the day. It is kind of hard to go back to with its aged problems. But people enjoy slagging Prototype and Prototype 2 off these days. I mean, even back in the day, obviously it had that rivalry, what I would call a mimetic rivalry between it and Infamous. I actually wrote a satirical article back in the day on Destructoid called Prototype 2 is blatantly better than Infamous. I should do that series again one day, the blatantly better series. It was fun because some people didn't get it. One person, well, I say person, one group who didn't get it was Sucker Punch, who were very upset back in the day about the article. Because even though they got more and more satirical as it went on, you know, I did things like why Pokemon Red is blatantly better than Pokemon Blue, and all this kind of stuff. The very first blatantly better was this, and I was a bit more serious. Still over the top in my criticisms, but I did genuinely, and still do genuinely, prefer Prototype to Infamous. Obviously, Infamous quote-unquote won, because Infamous is still around, and Prototype now exists as this kind of Weekend at Bernie's remaster. But I always respected this series. I thought Radical did a good job with it. It was clunky as hell. I mean, the first one especially. Like, it's frustrating to play. Those hunters, those big monster things, pains in the fucking ass. Those kinds of things that power through your combos half the time when they feel like it. Fucking annoying, and he doesn't really have the defensive skills to deal with it, or the kind of distance closing. He's got like this homing dive kick, but it's kind of rubbish. Prototype 2 like kind of improves everything, which is really the crux of my issue with the Biohazard bundle, because they could have remastered this and made it so much better, and they just didn't. I mean, it's basically a port. It's more or less the PC version on PS4 and Xbox One. Which is a shame, because as I said in my review, which you can read on thejimposition.com, it would have benefited so much, because the second one is a lot more recent and has a lot more modern sensibility to it. If they'd have actually remastered the first Prototype and added those improvements in, added in the better control scheme Prototype 2 has, added in some of the defensive maneuvers that James Heller has as opposed to Alex Mercer here, then you would have had what I feel would have been a really nice remaster, but they just didn't bother. I mean, it's 1080p and that's what you get, you know. Don't even improve the frame rate on the first one. Draw distances are all the same. Visuals are, well, you can see. It's actually a lot more evident when you get up close, sort of cutscenes and things like that. And the vehicles, when you get in a tank, you can see it. Like, it's not good. I'm not playing too great here either, but you know, what can you do? I do love those big bashy fists, though. They're really good at punching up tanks, so that's good. Just collecting the Hive genetic material there, as is the mission. You've got to collect the genetic material that's coming out of that building that's full of pustules before the military destroy the building full of pustules, while the military are also fighting you, and you're being fought by those hunters, those infected beasties. Some of the game's missions were very frustrating. This, as overwhelming as it is not as frustrating as some of them. I remember there's a helicopter escort type mission that is just pants. It's total fucking shy. But yeah, I loved it back in the day, and I still enjoyed it. I still went back and obviously this footage is from a few days ago, and I still enjoy it. I like Alex Mercer as a protagonist. There's not really I don't think there's been a video game character that feels quite like him, for better or worse. His moveset and the way he interacts with his world is just something I would have liked to have seen more of. Obviously, you don't play as Alex Mercer in the sequel, which is a bit dissonant. It's not that I don't like James Heller as a character, or indeed, I like Prototype Story 2, Prototype 2's story better than Prototype 1's, just because it makes a bit more sense, and it's structured better. But James Heller is kind of less morally ambiguous than Alex Mercer, which makes him walking around consuming people, basically cannibalizing their DNA and their entire body matter. Just a bit more dissonant, a bit more kind of worrying. Alex Mercer was always a bit less, even though he's nominally a good guy in this. Bits in the story make sense as to why he is less morally kind of sound, and why he's more okay jumping into tanks and reducing everything inside to liquid. Whereas James Heller kind of didn't have that dubious quality to himself. But anyway, you can destroy these buildings after you're done with the material. It's good. And then you get more evolution points out of it, which lets you level up better. That's a nice bash there. Got a shield up, that's one of the upgrades you can get. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed just how, even though, like, you know, the shooting is a bit rubbish, you've got to, you know, aim on something and then hit square a lot. And the action is very rough around the edges, and the vehicle combat is dated. You know, all of this, everything the game does comes with caveats, but it does so much. It is a varied game, even if it's, you know, even if it's not as polished and up to date as one might like, and as it should have been in this bundle. I think that's what really kind of upsets me, as someone who counts himself as a fan of the Prototype series, to still be enjoying it, coming back and playing it, but also feeling like this bundle's just a waste of fucking time and money. You know, it's sad. I compared it to Weekend at Bernie's, because Activision, you know, they're done with the series now. They're over it, because they didn't make as much money out of it as they wanted. And yet they're dragging its corpse out of the grave for this. It's just a shame. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything, I mean, you know, but it is a very cynical double dip. And it is more evidence of really the abuse that the word remaster has gone through lately, as it becomes yet another thing that the industry has just devolved all meaning of now. This is Prototype 2 anyway, only bothered showing you that one bit of the first Prototype because Prototype 2, as I say, is scientifically a better game. But this is James Heller, disguised as one of the Black Watch guys, one of the evil mercs, as it were. Because, I mean, that was better in this as well. Like, the stealth consume in Prototype 1 is just awkward. Like, everything's unnecessarily convoluted in the first game. The gliding in the first one, you've got to jump, air dash, then double tap the jump button. Whereas here, it really is just jump and hold the dash button. Jump and hold. Jump and hold. So simple. Should have put it in the first prototype. But, you know, they didn't because this isn't a remaster. And the stealth consuming in this is like you press the grab button and then you get a quick window of time to choose whether you want to grab them in the open in front of everyone or press another button to stealthily just kind of touch them and meld into them. Which is just convenient, whereas the other one, it's like hold this button, then get right behind him, then do this, and it probably won't work, but just try it. Which is a shame. And so Prototype 2 is you know, it modernizes everything. It really is just improved in every way. And going back to this one was a delight. I was vastly entertained by this one. And I just wish that they'd have taken everything that this improves and put it in the first one. Because then I feel this would have been a bundle I'd have happily recommended. Whereas now it's like, well, it's not, it's just a mediocre port job. There is some cool stuff. That yellow thing, you can get DNA stuff from it. From the dude. But let's get this mission started first. Lots of guys dotted around the map that you can consume and get extra kind of points from and stuff like that. It's all good. So, because I am dressed up as a Blackwatch fella, I've got no problem walking past these guys. This is a restricted area, as you can tell on the map. And there we go. Simple little stealth consume. Press that button. You press in a... I think it's the right stick, if I remember correctly. And then you can tell who's being watched and who's not. If they're highlighted in white, they're not being watched. Grab them. Like that, just... right through them. Everyone's a winner. Oh, down we go. The missions are more varied as well. The first one just had these kind of really out-of-context challenges, like race across the building tops and all this stuff. And this game has some of that, but they've also got things like this, where you go into lairs and do little side objectives. You know, kill the scientists before they do an escape on it. There we are. Started off stealthy, but then I just thought, fuck it, you know? Just mash them up in front of everyone and then bring out the claws. See, I love this as well. This is something the first game doesn't have. They kind of borrowed the pouncing from... If it came out first, I can't remember if the if Raven's X-Men Origins Wolverine one, whether that came out before this. But the pounce is very similar. Kind of the Wolverine jump and grab. Well, jump and slice. And it, like that, it's really satisfying to do. Like, it one-shots like any regular type enemy. It's just fun to do. And the combo is, you know, the combat is vastly improved in this one. You can switch on the fly by pressing buttons, as you can see in the corner there. You know, square for your claws, triangle for your tendrils. Whereas the other one, you had to constantly switch weapon sets. And here it's just streamlined and more convenient. Consume a few things for the health of it. Don't bash me up. I say that as if I'm playing right now. This is yet another pre-recorded, as all my console ones are, pre-recorded on the PS4, using PS4 Share, which I never thought I'd get much use out of, but then its ability to pre-record for me to put console games on this channel has been really nice. Really good. Tendrils are better for the tanks. At this point in the game, I did not have the ability to hijack vehicles yet. So this was a bit difficult. In fact, I eat a ridiculously awful missile shot that I should not have eaten, and it kills me. You're supposed to dodge when the blue laser's on you, and for some reason I just forgot to do it in this first run. So I do eat an embarrassing death here. In fact, in a minute. Less than a minute. And I'm too busy trying to bash these tanks up with my tendrils, thanks. That's good. You hold the triangle and it kind of shoots a tendril into someone, then shoots other ones out and grabs things and pulls them in. I think they call it black hole. It's pretty cool. It's me just trying to... Look at that. That was rubbish. And here I am again, too busy focusing on the shooting of my own missile launcher that I forget the one that shoots right into my own penis and testicles. So that was embarrassing, but that's fine. Next time we're much better about it. So yeah, I like it. I really like this one a lot. And I wish they'd have... Well, I've already gone on. We won't drag that out again, will we? But I do think Prototype 2 still holds up. And as I said, it's kind of... I'm still not dodging. That frustrates me seeing it back. It was very stupid. Ugh. Dodge, you idiot! I'm so angry at myself. Anyway, there we are, consuming while being pushed by the tank. Yeah, fuck it, don't tangle with them. I mean, the missile launchers are annoying, but they are to be handled way better than I handled them there. They're not that hard to dodge. You know, I dodge them all the time now, but for some reason in that mission I was like, no! So anyway, got increased, got a locomotion mutation there. Sorry, I'm not saying words proper. Anyway, we jumped ahead. This is a different recording. Is it? Hang on, I've just got to check. Probably, yeah, it is. So this is a different part of the game. Skipped ahead a bit. Or did I skip back? No, I've put these in order of recording, so it's ahead. So anyway, here we are again on a base, all commanded up, feeling pretty good about ourselves. Just getting another one of these side missions, which are good because they give you extra mutations. Unlike the first prototype, you don't just buy whatever you want from the upgrade menu. You get specific upgrades from specific missions, like these side missions. They give you a choice of certain upgrades you can have, and then you've got a general level up system, which lets you level up, you know, your general speed, your health, all this kind of stuff. It works out quite well. So this is the hunting mechanic. It's basically sonar. Press the button, send out a circle, then see where the circle's coming from. Higher you get, the better you got. What threw me here, this confused me a bit just because usually your target is a bit further away from you, and he was actually quite close in this bit. So it confused me for a moment, but he's right there. Just a quick confirmation. And as you can see a skeleton. And when you see their skeleton, they're the one. So you do that. They didn't really do so much the web of intrigue in this, like as they did with the first one. The first one, like different random guys throughout the world will have symbols above their heads, and when you consume them you unlock more of the story. Here they do that a bit, but it's not quite the vast web that they tried in the first one. Which is fair enough, because it was an interesting idea in the first one, but it did become a bit tiresome once you stop what you're doing all the time to try and chase someone down and unlock bits of story that wasn't well acted and was just kind of embarrassing, really. They do it a little bit here, but it is tied more into regular missions than anything else, mostly. So this one is very much a kind of predatory, stealthy mission kind of thing. You just walk around, got to consume a bunch of people.
Stop to this.
Now, towards the end of the video, I'll show you the DLC that this came with. That's about the only thing I kind of like about this bundle itself, is because the DLC kind of came out long after I'd done playing Prototype 2. Did it? I can't remember. But anyway, it wasn't around when I played through it and beat it, because I was playing it for review on Destructoid at the time. And I never went back to try any of the DLC out. And it's a lot of fun. The DLC is really, really fun. Really silly, but it is enjoyable. So anyway, got our hunting here. Some of this can be annoying because you'll see someone who's highlighted in white, and then someone will turn around and just ruin it for you. But usually you can try and manipulate the situation to get it how you want it. Yeah, bothered at that point. Just skipped it. I've seen it all before. I beat this back in the day. There we go, much easier. This is actually quite a simple little job. DNA consumed. DNA consumed. So that's that first bit. We've got to go get some others.
Copy that, Cobra. Nobody's getting past us.
Yeah, we'll see about
I'd love to see another prototype. I would like a prototype 3. I do feel like Radical, when Radical was Radical, wasn't done with it. I feel like they had at least one more in them, and especially with today's kind of modern standards of open world stuff, they could have made a genuinely great game out of it. But they didn't. They didn't get the chance, unfortunately. Which is sad. It saddens me. But what can you do? So we killed that guard who was looking at that dude, so then we can grab that dude. It's a simple puzzle. Not even a puzzle. Of course, the more guys you chew up, the less chance there is of you getting in trouble. So we just eat our way through. There we go. I just got to grab these turds. Whoop. And whoop.
Dr. Stone, can you hear me?
Why did I include so much of this in the video's timeline? This isn't an exciting mission at all. It really isn't. I'm kind of relying on myself to remain entertaining throughout it while it acts as a backdrop. And I don't trust myself that much. But the mission's over anyway. We get a nice high jump. The jumping's really satisfying in this one. Because again, it's improved over the first one. The first one you kind of like crack down, you hold down jump. Hold it down, whereas here it's like, you don't charge it, just the longer you press it, the higher you go up. So there's no charging, it's just press and hold and he goes flying. As we will show you in just a second. Here we go. Look at this. Rah! Ho ho ho! Easy as you fucking like. Right. This is all the DLC stuff. I hate that I left that options menu in there. Fuck it. I'll fuck it up if I change it now. Anyway, so this is the first bit of DLC. This is basically a rocket launcher that shoots nukes. Little mini nuke. You see it sucks things in and then blasts everything out. It's cool. So this was sold as part of a DLC pack back in the day, but it's on the Biohazard bundle. Also, when you jump, these things are called, what are they called? Force multipliers. You get no trophies or achievements or anything if you've got them on, but they do break the game. So the first force multiplier is that missile launcher. The other one was every time you jump, you create basically an energy field that drags everything up around you with you into the air. As you can see, just people flying up with you as you jump. That's an I-beam. It's basically a one-shot, this Medusa ray thing. You target something, hold in a stick, and it's just kapow. And then that helicopter's done. I didn't need to fire at it a second time. Jumping up, sucking everything up with me. It's pretty neat. Frying dudes. This isn't DLC, that's just regular attacks. Also, I've got like the city and like this panic, which you can also use as a force multiplier. This is great. This is my favourite bit of it. Throw anything and it creates a fucking, basically a whirlwindy vortex. Throwing is very fun with this arm. So yeah. I say it breaks the game completely, because right now the anything you throw creates a whirlwind. You can one-shot whatever you like. The city itself is full of zombies now. It's not conducive to playing the game right, but it does play fun. I do wish you could play it with the trophies on, at least for the Biohazard bundle, because it's like, who gives a point? Who gives a fuck at this point, you know? Might as well play it with all this shit on. Also, all of the DLC skins and stuff are included. Right now, this is the Armoured Hela skin. You can get the Armoured Mercer skin as well. You can get Zombie Hela, and you can get Zombie Mercer. They're fun because they ruin the story. Because as a zombie, they don't have any dialogue. It's just which is fun. Anyway, so here's all the multipliers. We're changing Medusa's Wrath. That's it. We get a grenade launcher as well as a rocket launcher. So you've got to go in there and activate it to respawn the weapon in your hand. Now this you don't really get to see very well because I've got the city in this infected state. But what it does is when it explodes, it produces basically a gas that infects people. You can just see there that soldier mutating and turning into an infected. That's what it does. They start vomiting and transforming. But it doesn't get shown off as well here. Look at them flying. I love it. It's not really a conducive way of attacking that helicopter. But at this point I was just trying to show stuff off, drop it, because having the ability to throw stuff is a lot more fun than having the grenade launcher. And the weapons are cool for a few seconds, but then it's like, I can fire eye lasers and throw whirlwinds without it, because you can't do that stuff with a weapon in your hand. And look at that, look, down in one. It's good. It's good! And there's not a lot more to it. This is what it is. But it makes the idea of fucking around, like when I was a kid and I played Grand Theft Auto 3 back in the day, or even the old top-down ones before then, you know, I'd be more interested in just rampaging and seeing how much destruction I could cause, which I kind of grew out of. But this makes it fun again. Just having this ability to cause ridiculous amounts of chaos. Look at that. But that's it, more or less. The video's kind of wrapping up now, so hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had a nice time. You know, I like doing these kinds of videos. The pre-recorded console ones where I just sit back and shoot the shit a bit more casually. Get to present my thoughts a bit more coherently. Not completely coherently, but a bit more. We'll be doing more of these as more console things happen. But until then, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.